All right, come on, guys. Think. We need more comedic ideas. You there, the good-looking guy. What do you got for us?
What if a flounder enrolls in boating school and he threatens to physically harm SpongeBob on a daily basis?
I like that. A lot. Do any of the adults care?
Not one bit.
Let's make his dad a little bitch. Alright, this is good stuff. Come on. You there, the weird guy with the glasses. What do you got for us?
Come on, give it to me. How about a guy gets repeatedly spanked as he crawls on his hands and knees through 7 miles of random people's thighs, occasionally bumping his forehead on their genitalia?
Oh, God! Yes! Well, that was stupid. Welcome to Laser Toast. I'm Sack, and I want to talk to you about something very important.
You gotta try this, dude! Ah, we finally got enough people for a 7-mile spanking machine! Ah, ouch!
Record scratch? Yes, this really happened in an episode of Spongebob. A 7-mile spank line that I feel like nobody talks about enough. At that distance, it's not even, pleasurable or fun. It's just torture, but it made me think. How many fish would it take to make this booty tunnel? How long would it take to crawl through? And at what mile marker would you die? And that's what I am here to overanalyze.
Is this where the line starts?
And Squidward, why are you getting in this? Welcome to my first analysis nobody asked for or wanted. Anaphow? I don't know. Also, if the number of fish needed is greater than the population of Bikini Bottom, that means they would have had to outsource. With, flyers? I can't imagine what the flyer would look like. Let's get to know the participants. The Crawler. The energetic masochist that... Whoa. Wait, did he just press that?
Nice catch, Percy!
Okay, anyway. The Crawler is named Jimmy Gus, a Bikini Bottom resident who is clearly tired of hiding his deepest desires. There's also this angry man, about 6 fish back, that looks like his wife just left him for his son, and now he's about to take it out on the booty. And right in front is the fish who will start this slapfest. His name is Martin, and Martin is crucial to our math. Let's start with some calculations. We are going to use Martin as the average-sized fish for this. It is noted on the internet and on SpongeBob's driver's license that SpongeBob is 4 inches tall. And I found that in a Season 5 episode called The Krusty Sponge, SpongeBob walks right by our pal Martin. Using this screenshot, we can use SpongeBob as a reference to determine Martin's dimensions. This line represents SpongeBob's height at 4 inches. If you cut it in half, and cut it in half one more time, we have a makeshift ruler that measures 4 inches. Double that, we now have an 8-inch ruler to use to measure Martin. Now I did some more precise calculations involving holding a piece of paper against the laptop screen and measuring that to scale, but we'll use this ruler so you can get a visual. Martin's height comes out to approximately 5.26 inches. We can find the width of his body, which turns out to be about 1.82 inches front to back. Now to the spank line screenshot. We can see that all of the fish look as though they are swinging at the booty in a motion across their bodies, rather than with a fully extended arm or straight down. So right here is the swinging area, not straight down like this, but across the body. Across the body. So to calculate how much space each fish needs, I took Martin's width and add the distance from his elbow to the tip of his hand, or fin, since again his arm is not fully extended during the smack. With an elbow to fin length of 0.319 inches, we get a total average front to back per fish of 2.14 inches, meaning that each fish occupies a length of 2.14 inches. Now yes, I know there are Bikini Bottom residents who are much skinnier than this, and there's also ones that are much wider than this, but we are using Martin as an average. So now, 7 miles, that is equal to 36,960 feet, or 443,520 inches. Dividing that by the space per fish, we get the number of spankers needed to reach 7 miles. And that number is 207,252 fish. That is a lot of fish. If it were that many people, it would be greater than the population of Montgomery, Alabama, or Salt Lake City, Utah, or Yonkers, New York. Yeah, there's a city called Yonkers, and I feel like everybody there plays the trumpet.
Yonk.
Now, how long will it take a fish to crawl this distance? Now, it's a super long distance, so he's probably going to slow down or not make it at all, because things tend to slow down when they're attacked. But for the sake of calculations, we will keep Jimmy Gus at a steady speed throughout the entire spank line. He is going to be tired. To determine this, I timed how long it took Jimmy to get through the first 3 spanks, timing with each one, and I get an average of 2.16 seconds, which means about 0.72 seconds per fish, or per spank.
So if we take the number of fish and subtract 1, because the first fish is not counted, he just starts the timer, and multiply that by time per fish, we get the total time to crawl through the line. It would take Jimmy 41.45 hours. 41.45 hours of crawling. That is 2,487.01 minutes, or 149,220.72 seconds. And that is 41.45 hours at a minimum. A minimum. That's if Jimmy does not slow down. And Jimmy's not a robot. He's gonna slow down. That's almost 2 days. That's a 40-hour work week plus some overtime. Do you realize what Jimmy could be doing other than the spank line with those 40 hours? Jimmy could practically fly around the world in a 787. He could watch all of the Harry Potter movies. Twice. Jimmy could also probably write an entire Chainsmokers album. Jimmy could spend that time finally going fishing with his grandpa. He misses you, Jimmy. Jimmy could complete a triple ultra triathlon, which roughly translates to hell on earth, but no. Jimmy uses his 41.45 hours to get his love seat tenderized. Just look at Jimmy's smile as he enters the thigh underpass. He has no idea the 40-hour hell that awaits him. And there's no way out. You're surrounded by legs. Also, Jimmy said ouch for the first few spanks.
Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
How is he going to survive 200,000 more spanks if it already hurts? So I found a world record crawl back in 2005 that I hope is real because it is the perfect reference to use as a comparison. These 2 guys were actually raising money for a good cause. They crawled 32.26 miles, and it took just over 44 hours through hail, lightning, rain, and freezing temperatures. They were even reported to have suffered from hallucinations and motion sickness, and they experienced severe dehydration. Both were treated at a local hospital at the conclusion. I even found something that said they were still in pain 3 weeks later, with pinched nerves, numb feet, and arm pain. Now that is about the same amount of time that Jimmy would be spending crawling, except Jimmy's getting spanked, he doesn't have any knee pads or gloves, and nobody's handing out water cups along the way.
And yes, I know they're underwater, so how can they hand out water cups? But you get it. Not only will he hallucinate and need medical attention, Jimmy is going to die. So no, Martin.
Next!
Nobody should be going next. Now before I do calculations for humans, let's talk Bikini Bottom population. An exact number is very hard to come by. In a season 5 episode titled Whatever Happened to Spongebob, we can see a Bikini Bottom sign that says 538. But in another episode when Spongebob was selling Pretty Patties, there were
46,853
customers. But this number could also include out-of-town customers. Regardless, I do not believe the population of Bikini Bottom is more than 207,252 fish. They had to get friends from Rock Bottom, probably. Bikini Bottom, Rock Bottom, Spank Line. What is with this show and butts? Anyway, now to humans. And I'm gonna speed through these calculations. It's just kind of using the same things I already did for our friend Martin. Alright, so average forearm plus hand length, 1.52 feet, 18.25 inches, also 0.46 meters. Average body depth, about 10 inches. If I measure myself, and I use the reference in this right here. Total front to back proportion, 30 inches. And here we go. Obviously, humans are still bigger than fish, and 7 miles is still 7 miles. So the number of humans is going to be far less than the number of fish needed for the 7-mile spank train. So the number of humans for a 7-mile spank machine comes out to be 14,784 people. To get a visual, it would be enough to fill the Jones Beach Outdoor Amphitheater in New York. Now for the time calculations. Similar to the fish, we will find a video of a spank line, time it, and use that to get an average per spank. Luckily, I found a video on YouTube of people actually doing a spank line. I'll put a link to the channel below. Again, we will assume a human can maintain a constant crawling speed for these 7 miles. For sake of calculations, at about 1.16 seconds per spank, a human spank machine would take about 4.76 hours, 285.6 minutes, or 17,148 seconds.
Which isn't awful considering that it was 41.45 hours for a fish.
Woo! There we go. That's it. We've analyzed it. We know what it takes to make a spank line. Go make your own spank line. Gather your closest 14,700 friends. Start spanking. Thank you for joining me for this first analysis nobody asked for or wanted. Let me know in the comments if there's other pointless analyses. Let me know in the comments below if there's other pointless analyses that you want me to look at. It doesn't have to be SpongeBob. It could be anything. TV, movies. Literally just comments below. Come on. This video was sponsored by nobody. But for the sake of calculations, one note I made while making the script was to figure out how long the 7-mile spank line is. How long the 7-mile spank line is. If you push the first guy, you get a 7-mile domino.